For all your TCG needs, make sure to check out alphatradingcardgames.com.
What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber94. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of Pokemon or any other card game, I'm gonna be making a Castlevania-esque video. Gonna be ranking all of the Castlevania games I played on this little site right here. You can do this in plenty of places, I think. But yeah, I've been meaning to make a sort of a tier list video for quite some time. I was gonna do one for Pokemon games, but then Castlevania games, I guess, beat Pokemon to it. I've been having Castlevania a lot on my mind lately. It's been so long, it's not even funny since the last time Konami made a new Castlevania game that's not a damn collection or compilation of old Castlevania games. And the Mercury Stream games, like the last few original Castlevania games, the last games they basically released, that it wasn't a compilation. I wasn't very thrilled about them, but I guess we'll talk about them when I get to them. So here's what we're gonna do. A lot of the Castlevania games I haven't played. I might talk about them a little bit, but I'm not gonna give them a rank when I haven't played them. Okay, so we got this little, I think it's a Kid Dracula game or something first. I haven't played, so I can't talk about it. Same for Castlevania Chronicles. Now this game, it did come out in English, and I have seen reviews and gameplay videos on YouTube for it, but it's another game that I have not played. I don't even think, I don't remember, but I don't think it's in the like Classicvania compilation they made. I could be mistaken, but I don't think it was there. So I don't believe I played it. I think if I did, I would have remembered. But this is another game that I can't really give a ranking for. I've heard that it's extremely difficult and it has a few bugs in it as well. That's gonna glitch your game up or you lose your progress, sort of thing. Difficult game, Classicvania game. You know, the linear non-exploration game. I think it would have had a lot of plus points if I played it, but I haven't. Judgement, the third one, I haven't played this either, but I think I would like this very much from the gameplay that I've seen. It's a fighting Castlevania game, so it's the most unique probably out of all of them. Have not played it, it was only on the Wii, but I kind of wish I did, to be honest. I think I would have liked it. It sort of gives me a vibe of like the PlayStation 2 One Piece games, which are also very unique, that I wish we could play more games like that. Alright, on to the first game we're going to rank, Castlevania Harmony of Despair. Now this I've played a lot, and I mean a lot of this game. It's a very underrated game, I think, but it does have some of the criticisms it gets are valid. It's a collection of assets basically from older Castlevania games and even a Getsufuma game as the last stage. Turned into an MMO style RPG game. That's a multiplayer game. You get the most out of this game if you play in multiplayer. So it's really good, but it could have been even better if it actually had original stages, more bosses, more items. They kept it going with DLC. So I'm not gonna put it in S tier, but it's definitely gonna get an A tier for me because it's really fun. It's the best. As far as multiplayer in Castlevania, this is your game. And it's really cool. Local co-op, online. Just very fun, quite addicting. Trying to collect all this stuff, teaming up with people to beat the bosses. I think it's pretty good, and it has potential to be even better, like the formula. It's sad that Konami didn't do more with it. So it definitely gets an A from me. Then we got the Game Boy kit here. It says Kid Dracula. Is that another Kid Dracula game? I also haven't played this, so I can't talk about it. And then we're going to jump straight ahead to the most infamous and people are going to say the best one. In many ways, it kind of is Symphony of the Night. I have not played the PlayStation original game, but I have played the Dracula X Chronicles PSP version and the Requiem version for the PlayStation 4. But I mean, either way, this gets an S tier. I would be crazy not to put it in S tier. I mean, it holds up even to this day. The sprites, they just hold up. It looks like a cool old school game, that still looks beautiful to play. Phenomenal music, still some of the best Castlevania music and video game music, period, to this day. And it inspired an entire genre after it. I mean, the Metroidvania term, a lot of people don't like it. I don't like it much either, to be honest, but I get what it stands for. I'd rather say Ecovania at this point. But once again, it's this sort of term of exploration, RPG games, side-scroller games. I mean, it's pretty much the granddaddy, like the Godfather, you could say. So definitely gets an S tier. I like the voice acting as well in the Requiem and the PSP version. I think the old school people don't like that, but I prefer it. I mean, it's what I got introduced to, and I do like the quotes and stuff in it as well. And it's just really good. I mean, what else can I say about it? Great replay value, big enough game. You know, you get the castle upside down, making the game even bigger. A lot of content, a lot of bosses, just cool enough story. You know, uh, it's sort of a romantic story in a way. So yeah, just can't say enough good things about it. Same for Castlevania Lament of Innocence. Now, believe it or not, this is my first Castlevania game. This PlayStation 2 game right here was my introduction to Castlevania. I don't want to just tell you guys the entire story because it's kind of unique of how I played this game, how I got into this game, and how I got into Castlevania through this game. But it's very nostalgic to me, but I do believe it's actually a really good game as well. Very solid game, especially considering it was the first, like, Iga's first 3D game, I'm pretty sure, and the first, like, serious, you could say, 3D Castlevania game, perhaps. The N64 guys might hate me, but that's what I think. Now, this game is old. It's kind of short. If you know it inside and out, then it's going to be really short. And if you're skilled at it, you're not dying, you're going to beat it really quickly. But once again, it has a lot of potential. I like a lot of the secrets it has, you know, the mystery aspect from it. It has a serious horror element to it as well. And very romantic story, a lot of nice twists. Man, a lot of good shit. This game, where should I put it though? S tier might be pushing it because it could have been a hell of a lot better, I think, too. You know, some of the mechanics, like with the relic system, the MP system, perhaps isn't the greatest. But I mean, I guess if I'm not gonna put it in S tier, it's definitely getting an A tier for me because it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I really love this game. I played it so many times, it's not even funny. I wish we had more games in this style of 3D. Anyway, now Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. So this is an interesting one. I like all of the DS games. All three of the DS games, you know, they have advantages and disadvantages over each other. I have my favorite, which I'm not going to spoil just yet, and it's not Dawn of Sorrow. If I have to pick one, it's definitely not this one. But this is a really good game, especially considering it's the first one, 2005. Um, I hate touch, the touch circle gimmicks. That was bullshit. And I also don't like the crafting mechanic. That was kind of half-assed because you get some souls. There's certain souls you can only get once in the game, but then there's so many different things that you can craft with that one. You'll never be able to collect everything. So it's kind of bullshit, some of the mechanics like that. Um, so they also did this anime style as well, which it's not like I dislike, but the Ayami Kojima and even I forgot the dude's name, another brilliant artist. The sort of gothic artwork in Order of Ecclesia 2 is superior. But I mean, there's a lot to it, and you can play as Alucard, Julius, and Yoko as well, and fight Soma as a boss. There's a lot of good shit to it. I gotta put this in A as well, even though it has some bullshit. Okay. Now, Aria of Sorrow. God damn. It's it's a bit difficult to rank this one because I'm not gonna lie, I prefer it than Dawn of Sorrow, but at the same time, it's shorter than Dawn of Sorrow. Even if it's on the Game Boy Advance, it's a lot shorter. And yeah, but I mean, it's just too good. It's one of the best Game Boy Advance games, to be honest. Um, just so much good shit. Am I gonna put it in A or S? It's a really good question. Where are we putting you? I mean, it's better in Symphony of the Night in a lot of ways too. It's on the Game Boy Advance. You know what? I'm just gonna say fuck it. You're going S tier because it's too good. Uh, Even if it's shorter than other games, it's too damn good. So I'm gonna go S tier for sure. Next up, we got Simon's Quest. This one I did play. It's the more unique ones of the classic Vania style games, I guess, where it actually is like a Metroidvania, you could say, like the original Igavania, Castlevania in a way. Now, I did play this. These sort of old games can be kind of annoying sometimes, and I'm more of a Igarashi Castlevania fan. But I have played this, and I guess as far as that sort of game go, it has its flaws. Gonna put this on to B. I think that's pretty fair. Um, yeah, and maybe if I was a bigger old school Castlevania fan, then it could go to A. But I'm just gonna put this to B, I guess. All right, next up we got Adventure Rebirth. Now, or actually, wait, Castlevania Curse of Darkness, actually. Okay, now, damn, this is definitely getting an A as well. Really underrated. So I love this damn game because of the Innocent Devil system. It's just very good. I just wish there was even more stuff you could do with this, like multiplayer stuff, or you had more secret bosses and more like extremely difficult bosses that you have to grind for and train to fight. And I guess maybe places you could go if more places to go if you have certain innocent devils, that sort of thing. Because it's almost like you want an excuse to train innocent devils in this game, but you don't necessarily have to train a lot of them. The game isn't that difficult, the normal mode at least. So even if you just use the innocent devils that you start with, you can beat it no problems. Um, some of the areas do feel a bit like copy paste, or not a bit, quite a lot. It doesn't bother me, but it's almost like a dungeon copy paste game. The graphic variety is actually superior in Lament of Innocence in a lot of ways. More variety in terms of the places, but this is a much bigger game, that's for sure. It has the tower as well, which is like the battle tower of this game, you could say. A lot of great aspects. The story in this game is worse than Lament of Innocence, I would say. They add some time travel shit, and that just always makes things a clusterfuck. But Crispin Freeman is the main character, and he's awesome, and a lot of the voice acting is awesome. As far as PlayStation 2 games go, the visuals in terms of the cutscenes, they're really good. There's a lot of good in this game. It does have the problems, but the thing is with these games, both this and Lament of Innocence, I know that Koji Igarashi, Konami, they always just gave him a shit budget to work with and not enough time. So it's a miracle this game is the way it is. Like if they actually had more time and more money, these games would have been even better. But I definitely got to give it an A tier. It's just awesome. Awesome game. A lot of replay value. Uh, there's the stealing system as well, stealing items from enemies. the crafting system is actually the most superior RPG system out of any Castlevania game, I would say. Even Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I prefer the system in here. I gotta be honest. Okay. Next up, we got Castlevania The Adventure. I have not played this, so I can't say anything. And then Adventure Rebirth. This is like a WiiWare, like a Wii exclusive only remake. Phenomenal music. I'm very familiar with it. I haven't played this as well, unfortunately. There's a lot of systems I didn't own, like Wii. Surprisingly, I never got one, but that's a big story. But I mean, yeah, I can't speak on this, but I would give it a decent ranking if I could, because I think it's really nice. Now, Circle of the Moon. Damn, this is a touchy one. It's the first GBA game. Extremely good music, I gotta admit that. RPG mechanics are very average. Just there's not much. It's just a card system, and that's about it. Other loot and item mechanics are kind of shitty. It's a difficult game, but it's been a long time since I played this too. I played this only once, and it was a long time ago. I think if I play it again, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much, or maybe I would enjoy it more. Damn, what should we do? Am I gonna put it in A or B? I'm gonna put it to B, but I think I might be doing a disservice to it. If I would play it again, I might put it in A. It's either A or B. You know what? Because it came as a Game Boy Advance launch game, it's really old. It's older than the other ones. Fuck it. I'm just gonna put it to A. Okay. I think I would still. I would enjoy it a lot if I played it again, I think. But anyway, then we got Dracula's Curse. So this I would say is better than Simon Quest. I didn't beat it. I'm not the classic, your typical classicvania Castlevania fan, but I have played this, and I played this on the 3DS too. It's considered the best old school Castlevania game by a lot of people, and I can't disagree. I mean, I'm gonna put this in A because I think it would be better than Simon's Quest. Yeah, I think it's just really good. You can play as all the other characters too. You can play as Alucard, you can play as Yoko or Sypha. So I'm gonna put this in A. Lords of Shadow 2. I haven't played this. I don't know if I would enjoy it. I've heard some things about it, good, bad. I watched reviews. I'm not ever gonna play this at this point on the PlayStation 3. I heard the stealth mechanics are shit. But anyway, it had potential. The original Lords of Shadows, this I did play. It's not the style of game to me, but I gotta admit, it wasn't a bad game. The few hours, well, not few hours, I've made it until the first major, like, Snow Colossus boss. But it's not a very, it dropped my interest. How can I say this? I just never got motivated to play it and beat it. It just doesn't feel like a Castlevania game to me in a lot of ways. Yeah, but the graphics were good, voice acting was good, and the combat is tight. There's not really many great RPG elements from what I've played, but I think B is really fair. It's just a solid game that didn't appeal to me. All right. Then we got Dracula X Chronicles PSP. So, if I'm gonna rank this as a whole game, including Symphony of the Night, the original Rondo of Blood, and all that shit, it's gonna get an S. But if we're gonna just rank the I guess, remake game. I would put this as an A because I do enjoy this a lot more. Like it's the in terms of the classic Vania style games that are not exploration based, Rondo of Blood and Dracula X Chronicles is my favorite out of the bunch. Is the one that makes the most sense to me and the one that I played the most. So for being this good and for having an incredible soundtrack, it has to go to A for me. Okay, and then you get the ultimate attacks too, like the weapon crush attacks. So yeah. Rondo of Blood is the same, basically. I gotta put this in A. It's pretty much the same thing, just the original one, old school. Played this a lot as well. Enjoy it. I think it's the platforming, maybe it's more tight and more precise than with the remake, but still pretty good. I think I'd say it might be harder than the remake one, but I don't quite remember. Okay, Order of Ecclesia. Man, this one is definitely getting an S. I don't give a fuck. The question is, though, where do I begin to explain to you guys how much I love this damn game? Like, it's the game that constantly is on my mind when I'm thinking about, man, I miss Castlevania. It's one of the first games that pops in my head, Order of Ecclesia. And yeah, I guess, spoiler alert, if I had to pick one out of the 3DS games for my favorite, it's this one. Now, obviously, Portrait of Ruin and Dawn of Sorrow, they've got things that are advantages over Order of Ecclesia that they do and Order of Ecclesia doesn't do. But this is the most well-rounded, best music, I'd say, best story, 100%. You get quests, you actually get some characters, and you get connection. There's actually, yeah, good characters, good plot. What else? I mean, you're not only you don't just play in Dracula's castle, although you do unlock it later on. You go through an entire map of stages. The glyph system is really cool. Uh, People say it's harder than Dawn of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin. I guess you could say that, but yeah, maybe. I like grinding in this game. There's just a lot of awesome things about it. And the artwork is made by, damn, I always forget his damn name. God, a brilliant artist that he did like Dual Master artworks as well. He did a bunch of shit and also did this. I can't remember right now, but Order of Ecclesia, S tier, easily. Too good. I wish they would just port this on the PlayStation or just something so I can have an excuse to play this for the billionth time. Anyway, the Castlevania Legends, I haven't played this, so let's move on. Harmony of Dissonance. Man, if I put Circle of the Moon in A, I'm going to have to put this in A too, but it does have a lot of flaws, but at the same time, it has a lot of good shit too. It's one of the longer ones, with the Mirror Castle, the Distorted Castle. You get a lot of content. A lot of the RPG mechanics are shitty. The item system, the stuff you can grab is shitty. The leveling up system is also kind of shitty. I don't like it. And it's a long ass game. Music isn't the greatest either, and it feels it's the more repetitive game. But I mean, if I put this Circle of the Moon A, I gotta put this on A too, because if this is gonna get B, I mean, I can't give Circle of the Moon A and give this B, because it's better in a lot of ways than Circle of the Moon. So we're just gonna put it on A, I guess. Okay, Portrait of Ruin. Damn, this is a hard one. Do I put this in A or S? Fuck. You know what? I gotta do A because it does recycle a lot of shit from Dawn of Sorrow. It definitely has a lot of replay value. It has a lot of unique factors, once again, than all the other DS games. but there's a couple of shits that it doesn't work out much. Like the leveling up, the skill level up system. They should have just made it more like Ratchet and Clank 3 instead of how it is here. And a lot of the quests are bullshit too. So I'm just going to put this on A. Now, Castlevania, I think Legacy of Darkness is called. I did play this a little bit. It's a long ass story. I'm not going to go into this, but not enough to give it a ranking. So I'm just going to leave this here. Same with the, I think this is Bloodlines. No, this one I played. I didn't beat, but fuck, I mean, are you getting B or A? Is a good question. I think I'm going to put you in A. Yeah, I'm putting this in A because a lot of the graphics, as far as the Sega Genesis game is concerned, are amazing. Music is amazing, and as far as Classicvania games are concerned, I definitely would put this ahead than something like Simon's Quest. So you go to A. This one I haven't played. This one I think is the Super Castlevania 4. So everybody agrees this is like the best old school one, or it's this with Dracula, I guess. So I'm gonna put you in A as well. Maybe some people are gonna tell me I'm crazy, but I've never played this. So, well, actually, no, I did once again, but I don't have it anymore, and I couldn't beat it. So I'm gonna put it in A. What the fuck is this? I think this is like the mobile game or something. Oh no, I think it's Mirror of Fate. You're gonna get B. A lot of good things, but a lot of bullshit as well. This one is Super Dracula. Well, I don't know what this one is. Castlevania 3, but Castlevania 3 is Dracula's Curse. I think I'm missing something here. I can't really tell from these little images. I don't know. This one, I can't really tell what it is either. And then Dracula X, this one, I really like the music. I'm going to put it on A as well. Very similar to Rondo of Blood. So, I think that about covers it. I guess this is what my tier list looks like. A lot of the ones like Lament of Innocence, to be honest, and Dracula and Curse of Darkness, I would put them S if like it was just my favorite games, but we got to be objective a little bit too. A lot of the ones that are in A, I like them just as much as some of the ones in S, but yeah, Order of Ecclesia is just too good. RDF Sword too good in terms of 2D games. Symphony of the Night, obvious. Yeah, not gonna put shit in C and D of games that I like. All right, so these are my games ranked, Castlevania games ranked. Hopefully we get a fucking new Castlevania game before I'm an old man at this point, even older than I already am. And that's it. Tell me what you guys think. If you agree with my descriptions and my rankings, what are your favorite Castlevania games? This video went a lot longer than I should have made it, but I can just keep rambling forever about Castlevania. So subscribe, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What I